It's there! Holy moly, this one's gonna go big!
Hello and welcome back to the channel. We're going to have a look at these two machines in this video, both by JPM. We have got one called Thriller on the left and one called Mousetrap on the right hand side. Both running on £6 jackpots, but Thriller started life as a £4.80 jackpot machine and got an upgrade to £6, whereas Mousetrap was always a £6 machine. Thriller is from 1992. I know that for a fact because we've got a picture where we can see the date on the machine. Mousetrap, I'm not so sure, unfortunately, even though there is a date on the cabinet there. Can you see there the JPM logos? The resolution on it was a really bad flyer, and you can't quite make out the date, but if I had to have a guess, I'd say 93. Maybe 94 at a push, but I would say 1993. Now, the reason that I want to do these two machines, first off, I said in the previous video that I wanted to cover Thriller, so I will be doing that. But also, Mousetrap is linked in. Mousetrap has just recently been released, the DX of it, and there is a link between these two machines in Fruit Machine emulation, which I will cover in this video as well. So first things first, I've got all my ducks lined up here. Ignore Blue Max Maygay here, that's a whole different thing, but Big J here was asking about Thriller back there over at Desert Island Fruits in September 2019, so over a year ago. And people were the same as I would originally have done, was thinking about the Crystal Machine Thriller, because they made a machine called Thriller as well. But a couple of people did, Steve Dude there actually remembers Thriller. It was completely lost on me. I've never seen a Thriller. This is the thing, it was a completely new one on me. But what happened is the resources were turned up by this guy here. Now, his forum name is Amot, real name Tony, and this guy is a fruit machine nut. He loves his fruit machines, and he got hold of a real Thriller. I did briefly show this in the previous video. We're going to look at this in more detail in this video, but that is the real machine. Now, when I saw the picture of this, I was like, wow, I have never seen one of those before, and I spent a huge amount of time in pubs and arcades. You know, if I was awake and I had money, there was a pretty good chance I would be in a pub or an arcade playing fruit machines. Certainly back in this time period in the early 90s, and I have never seen one of these before. It is a completely new one on me. It's on the System 5 Tech. Tony there got hold of a real one, and he got all the resources off it for us there. Particularly, of course, we've got the unique reel strips for this machine. There's also a video of the thing there in lamp test mode. There it is outside. Now, this is not a, how can we put it, unique machine. There were a handful of these that JPM did around this time. Another one is Intrigue. That's currently a work in progress with Pook. That DX hasn't been released yet, but there is one called Intrigue. There is one called Hollywood Nights, which you can see there. And actually, if you look at these two side by side, if I flick between the two, if you look at Intrigue, just kind of take a snapshot of that in your brain, and then look at Hollywood Nights, you can see there that I think they are pretty much straight reglasses of each other. Certainly, I played a real Hollywood Nights back in the day. I remember playing that in the pub, and I think the layout there is absolutely identical. You can see there, by the way, that Hollywood Nights is on a £4.80 jackpot. And I think all of these started on a £4.80 jackpot and then got an upgrade to £6. But this Thriller is a new one on me. So we got loads of good-looking, decent pictures of it. Chloe said straight away that she was going to get onto a classic for it. And if you have a look, if you zoom in on one of those pictures there, that picture there, if you have a zoom in, can you see there, as JPM did at this time, they always put like the year just underneath their logo, and you can make out there MCMXC11, or is it II? I'm not quite sure what the correct nomenclature is for Roman numerals. Either way, that is 1992. So we know for sure that this is a 1992 machine. I believe that Tommy C has a DX in the works for this, but that hasn't been released yet. But we do have, coming out of that, we did indeed get a release of a classic layout at the end of October by Chloe, and she's done a super duper job with this classic as well. Little things that you might think are an error. Can you see there that the bar pot has got that yellow light on the classic? Well, if you look at the real machine, you can see it there, that the bar pot is indeed coloured differently. That's your bar pot there. It's like a transient cash pot that you get when you get a trail held. So this for me is a really, really good classic, very evocative of the actual real machine, which we can see there. Where we got a picture where we can see the whole thing. Does very much look like the real machine. There we are. So we can see there, decent classic from Chloe there. No DX yet, but I have actually put a fair bit of play into this, and it's not a bad little machine at all. It's also helped as well by the fact that we have, of course, as per that thread there, we have the correct reel strips. And the thing with that is, if you look at the reel strips there, in particular, you can see there that these are unusual symbols. Now, I'll get into why some of these bars have got the lowercase yellow or multicoloured lowercase a in the middle. So they are unique symbols. And the other thing that's unique about them is the jackpot symbol. Now, this is something that does happen sometimes with machines, whereby we have to use kind of substitute reels, or the layout designer will maybe try and do a redraw. But that would be really difficult for this, because you can see that we've got some fair, I mean, the bars themselves are standard JPM bars of the time, but with the exception of these one with the lowercase a's and the Thriller symbol itself. So the story of how we actually got the resources for this machine is arguably a little bit more interesting than the machine itself. We will have a play, but these machines, I was never a huge fan of them. Hollywood Nights, like I say, I did put a fair bit of play into that. I do remember playing that quite a bit in a pub called the Knowsley in Bury, and they were okay, but I think at the time, I don't know if JPM didn't do very well with these, but at the time, I remember there being far more sort of bar crests and bell fruits and maygays and projects around it than JPM. Did seem to be a little bit of a lull for JPM at this period of time, but do remember playing them. And even at the time, even back in 92, 93, I'll be honest, these were not my favourite machines. They were, I think other manufacturers had gone on to full sample packs by this time, but JPM was still stuck with their in-betweeny sound hardware. It was internally generated. It was like a little bit of their version of the Yamaha sound chip that Barcrest used, but they didn't sound as good as the Yamaha sound chip that Barcrest were using for my money. And they're okay machines. They're kind of mid-tech, I'd say you'd describe them as, but I'm not going to oversell the machine itself because it's playable, and I've put a couple of £100 through it, and it gives a decent game. It's definitely worth having a look, but it's the story of how this machine came to be emulated, which I'm going to just spend a little bit of time on, because I did private message Tony over at Desert Island Fruits just to kind of thank him for the work that he's doing, getting ROMs, because it's not just these. He is any machines that he can get a hold of that we're missing resources for, be it artwork, ROMs, sound ROMs. He's actually turned up the sound ROMs for Trailblazer. If you remember when I did a video about Trailblazer, mentioned that it was Tony who got the sound ROMs for that, and he also, this is the link to Mousetrap here, he also got us the sound ROMs for Mousetrap as well. So what I basically asked Tony was what is his interest in fruit machine emulation, in fruit machines, just a little bit of his background, and why is he kind of so driven to do some of the work that he does to get just single machines, because the story behind Thriller alone, as Tony makes reference to here, if I go back to the first post in this thread, that he set off at 1:30 a.m. in the morning on the quest to get this machine. And while I am talking about that, we'll just have a look. This is one of Tony's videos on his own YouTube channel, and he's just going through one of his fruit machine storage spaces, if you will, because as you can see, he has many, many real machines. So Tony's history, basically, early history, is similar to a lot of us, which is fruit machine addiction. That does seem to be something of a common theme. to varying degrees with people who are into Fruit Machine emulation or Fruit Machine collection, and then managing to kick the habit. But the kind of the fondness, if you will, and I've talked about this myself, that it's always a little bit bittersweet for me when it comes to Fruit Machine emulation, because my most loved machines are also the ones that I played during the worst years of addiction. But Tony kind of similar is that once he'd kicked the habit, as it were, once he'd rid himself of the addiction, the kind of fondness for machines remained. And then later in his life, he became aware of the fact that you could still, that there was a second-hand market in these machines and that you could get hold of them. And then he started collecting machines for himself. And the interesting thing here is that Tony does not actually play with the emulator himself. He is basically into real machines, getting hold of real machines and getting them working, but not actually the emulator itself. But at some point, he did become aware of the existence of the emulator. And now part of when he gets hold of machines, part of what he does now is, if there's anything that's required for Fruit Machine emulation, he will make those resources available. And of course, he then says that he takes pleasure in seeing those machines preserved for other people via emulation. Even though he's not fussed about the emulator himself, to get hold of the machines, get hold of the resources, and basically just hand those over to the Fruit Machine emulation scene is a worthwhile endeavour for him. So that's a very kind of altruistic way of going about things, because for Tony, it's all about having the real machines, but he appreciates that there's now for the rest of us in the emulation scene itself, these resources, particularly rare ROMs and that kind of thing, absolutely are like gold dust to get some of these old classics running again. And in the case of Thriller, now he has said, because I kind of just asked him, how did you kind of find out about these rare machines and how did you get hold of them? And he said, well, I can't really say everything because the game is a little bit competitive at the moment, as it were, but a kind of abridged version with Thriller was that he became aware of one that was going. He ended up paying a fair chunk of money for it, several £100s, and to get hold of it, he had to travel hundreds and hundreds of miles. Hence the 1:30 a.m. in the morning start. To give you an idea, he travelled from so he lives up in Nottinghamshire, and he had to travel down to Somerset to get the machine. Now, where's Somerset? It's down here, isn't it? Somerset's about here, isn't it? So for all the way from there to there, down in Somerset and back again to get one machine. So there was a significant financial investment, not only to buy the machine, it was on a live auction, apparently. So not only to get the machine, then, of course, travelling, that's going to cost you a pretty penny in petrol, and then all the time involved to actually get back. But once he got back, one of the first things that he did was actually make the resources available, got the sort of ROM cartridge out there, got them dumped, got a good dump of the chips, all the boards were in good order. So for his part, he's now got this rare machine, and apparently what he suggested to me is that there's only one of these known to be in existence, which is this one, which is the one that he owns. I can't say whether or not that is true. I guess we wouldn't know if there's one at the back of a barn somewhere or something, but this certainly to me feels like a rare machine, because for the amount of time that I spent in pubs and arcades back in the 90s, back when this machine would have been brand new, I don't remember ever seeing one of these. And if you've ever been as into Fruit Machines, in inverted commas, as I am, you will know that you kind of just have a photographic memory of machines that you've played, and I have never ever seen this one. So Tony has got what he wanted. He went to all the effort to get this one single machine, but he also then immediately made available to the Fruit Machine emulation scene resources. We've got the pictures, we've got the real bands, and of course, most critically of all, you can't do anything without the ROMs. There are some layouts where we haven't got any pictures of the machine, and nobody knows what it looks like, but a layout designer can knock together something and they'll just kind of have a guess at what the machine looks like, and you can do that. with just the ROMs, but without the ROMs, without these chips, without the code on those chips, of course, you have got absolutely nothing at all. So that was what got this machine running. That was what allowed Chloe to make her layout, and that was what brought this 1992 JPM machine back to life here in the year 2020. And Tony also did additionally say, let's just go back to his video there. This, by the way, is just one of Tony's storage locations. He has got boards and machines in other places as well. So as you can see, he is quite the collector. There's I think there's pretty much every machine that we've seen in this video I've seen there. A couple of them, some of the older ones maybe I haven't seen before. And just so you're aware, there is a channel. Let's just go back. Amot's Fruit Sad Old Man, he's called his channel there. So you can have a look. There are some videos of some other machines that he's got in his collection there. But he also said to me that he's very, very much aware now, whenever he goes on a raid, whenever he goes, you know, these locations where there might be some old machines available, he's always got an eye open as well on things that might be useful for fruit machine emulation, a machine or a glass or ROMs that somebody has mentioned they're looking out for. So that's really nice of Tony, that for someone who isn't particularly into emulation, but he's always thinking about the fruit machine emulation community when he gets hold of these old machines, and wherever possible he will make those resources available to us. So thank you very much to Tony for that. So with that said, let's actually have a play of Thriller here. So let's just put a $5 in. Now then, the thing that you really want to play for, I think, you can obviously just do your basic number trail hold here. So we've got an entry either way there. So we'll probably... but the thing is... No, okay. We'll go for the number trail hold. Get in that way, so we'll obviously have a higher on. Oh, I was hoping it would give us a change it. You've got to be quick. Sometimes it makes a funny noise in that change it. Light flashes there, and if you press cancel quickly you can get a change it. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's it's there on nudges, isn't it? So we may as well get the £3 repeater on nudges. Way off the there we are, £3 repeater. Oh no, you can hear the sound there. It's not amazing, the sound. This was their version of the Yamaha sound chip. They all... Oh, did I just miss it? It made a funny noise. I think I've... Oh, now we'll see the special features here. I think Meigay had the Barcrest had it as well before they went to samples. The nudge tune isn't too bad. So what you'll see I'm going to do here is, can you see those funny little lowercase a's? Any 3 bars. And then we'll just press take there. You see take started flashing, so it can be any combination of triple, single or double bars. As long as it's got the lowercase a in there, you can get a secret feature. But the thing with these secret features is, and I absolutely remember finding this with Hollywood Nights, and if you have a look at Hollywood Nights here, it's got like 12 different features. But now the way that this one works is slightly different. But it suffers from the same fundamental problem, is that there's no real reason not to just go for the same one. So what you can do here, if you press hold 1, you get a chance. We can cancel that. If you press hold 2, you get climb. Press hold 3, you get high-low. But if you press take, you get skill. And it's kind of, why would you ever not take skill by definite? And then so we'll go for skill. And then what you can do as well, now skill nudge, if the jackpot was in view, it's like a skill stop on the high-low reel. But the one to go for here is just skill fruits. And then as long as you can hit that, you've got a £3 repeater. And this was exactly the same. I think it was actually called skill fruits on Hollywood. There is a skill fruit there. I think it was skill fruit on Hollywood Nights as well. On Hollywood Nights, you had to get the bars to add up to the little L value in the alpha, in the little sort of LED display there. But it was fundamentally exactly the same problem, was that you had all these features, but there was no reason not to just take the easy skill stop for the £3 repeater. And exactly the same thing is true for Thriller as well. The only difference being, I guess, is if you can get a shot at the jackpot. But beyond that, and what we'll do now, because you've seen that feature there, skill fruit, super easy skill stop for... I mean, we could get an exchange for nudges there, but the problem's going to be, it's going to give us... I think it's going to give us the... Shall we actually take the nudges there and see what it gives us? 1, 2, 3. Oh, it doubles it. You know what? I didn't actually know that. That's the first time that they actually count as boxes. So you see there, that actually doubled up for us. But so, okay, well, so we now know that you just go skill and then collect fruits, and you've got a really easy skill stop for the £3 repeater. Let's just have a look where the jackpot is. Oh, it's mine. There's only one on the reel. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No. So we can't get the jackpot there, even if we hit it on 12 nudges. So let's just go for one of the other ones. So we'll go for chance. And let's stop it on the same one. So we'll go for chance fruits. And like, why would you ever take that? It's visibly, demonstrably worse than just going for a nice, easy skill cache. So instead, you get that. So we'll take a few more. We'll kind of go through them a little bit. We'll try and collect all the features. But exactly the same as Hollywood Nights when I used to play that in the Knowsley back in 1992, 1993. But that was after nudges. What happens if I hold them there? Will it bring it in? So again, let's try a separate one. You just when you've got the choice here, and you can fuck about with it as much as you want. It doesn't get bored with you like, oh God, was it bar game? I know one of the Maygays used to get fed up with you, or the Searchlights ones maybe if you did, but this will let you fuck about with it for as long as you want. So let's go for the same one. So let's go for climb fruits, and you can see what that one does. See there, it's just a. But there's... I mean, it could climb to the top, but it's... Oh, it might do it. Well, we got there, but at the same time, it's like, well, why would you take the chance on that when you've got a really, really simple skill stop that you can take? It doesn't much like to repeat that £3 repeater, by the way. It's not the best £3 repeater in the world. We can get in there. So where's that? Now the bar pot, the bar pot fills up when you get trail helds on your way up the trail. So we can obviously just exchange there for £3 repeater. So we'll take that. We haven't seen the change yet. It's actually not playing too bad here, is it? But it doesn't like to repeat. It is a little bit annoying. It's a bit mean on the repeats, this thing. So what I tend to find is you just want to hold these. You just want to hold these funny bars and hope that it'll put you in that way. We'll go for a hold after nudges there. We'll try and look at the other features as well. Bar pot can fill up, but it's fairly rare for bar pot to be anything decent. Skill strike should be a £3 repeat. Fright Night is like a win series kind of thing. But frankly, you're better off, I think, just going for the bars. The funny bars and do it that way. Shall we? I don't know. Don't tend to get very far with hold, so well, there we are. We'll just see. And there we are. We've got in that way. So again, we'll take another one because we know that it's super, super, super easy to get a £3 plus repeat chance. So we'll go for, say, climb and then reel. And that's like a step down thing. So you kind of get the idea that they've taken the time to design all these features. But when given the choice, there is just no reason not to take the skill version. So we'll try and have a look at the other ones as well. No. So we've had skill fruits. I'll do skill. Skill nudge can be okay as long as you can hit the high-low reel. That's basically 12 nudges. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need 6 nudges, so that's a fair bit away, isn't it? Just keep an eye out for change it. It hasn't given us. Just how we haven't seen that once. Let's have a look at skill strike. Oh god, this is going to be always at my best doing skill stops on camera, aren't I? And it's slightly difficult because of the way it jumps to the left as it goes up. There we are. Let's get that. Come on, Degsy. There we are. We should be able to get this. Ooh, that's going a little bit faster. Cancel doesn't slow it down, by the way. Oh, no! That was unforgivable. Really should have hit that. Shame on me there. There's something unusual on this channel, isn't it? Degsy missing a skill stop. Bloody hell. Ooh, shall we have a cheeky hold on the thriller symbols? You can bank nudges, by the way. So we are in again there, so we'll take that in. Oh, I could have possibly held the middle 7 on the... No, we haven't got to change it again. We've only got 1, so we can't get the bars. It doesn't like you going on bad numbers. It does. That's the thing. Very JPM-y. It doesn't like you having a crack at it on bad numbers. So, the one thing that is quite hard to get on this is the jackpot. That's the thing. There are not that many ways to get the jackpot. There is a skill... In fact, we'll take skill reel. What I'll try and show you is skill reel, because that kind of lines all the reels up and then you have to stop them. Like a real skill... Well, yeah, there's a clue in the name, real skill feature. But it tends to avoid... Well, that's there, isn't it? Tends to avoid the jackpots. Let's go for that. Because you can kind of see what's going on with the other ones. They'll just kind of give you what it wants to give you. So we'll go for skill... And then reel, sometimes it flashes cancel. And you see there, we've got everything apart from the jackpot. We have technically got boxed... Will that double up to 320? Yes, it will double up to 320, but you saw that the best win that we could get on the reels there was actually, and that it does that, or it will do that more often than not. So should we have another crack at that? In fact, let's have a look at the other skill. So skill nudge, I can tell you for sure that is, so there's nothing on there. Let's go for skill cash. And yeah, you can see the problem there is that it's just on there. It sometimes flashes cancel, but that's a little bit, so yeah. So really, there's, even out of the skill features, if you just want a nice straightforward £3 repeater, the obvious one to go for is just skill fruits. Skill reel doesn't seem worth taking the chance for me because it doesn't like to give you the jackpot. Skill nudge would be the one that you can actually get the jackpot off. The bar pot is very often just a load of shit as well. Oh, there, I see there, change it. You see, did the change it there, it made the funny noise. It hasn't done it again, and if I go for that, it's probably going to have me. So let's see if I can hit the skill stop on this one. See if we can get the £3 this time. I always thought I'd optimistically try the cancel again, but it never seems to slow it down. Oh my shitting fuck, I've rushed myself there. As ever, we'll just to pretend that didn't happen. So what we'll do there is we'll actually bank a nudge. No, it didn't hold for us. So we'll bank a nudge again. Maybe it'll give us a hold. Didn't 50-50 allegedly on the nudges. So maybe get the bars one more time. It is really tricky to get the jackpot on this. It does seem to be very much based around the £3 repeater. However, one thing that I did have while I was playing this machine, I kind of stopped ignoring everything else and just started going for jackpots. And after a while, it did let me. Let's just go for... Ooh, maybe do that. So you can see there that the by far and away the best... Oh, now then. Can we... Oh, no, because... Oh, you know what? I pressed... Shit, I was thinking ahead there, thinking we could actually get the funny bar thing, and I pressed the wrong bloody button. But I would have nudged past the jackpot. And that's the other thing, that the configuration of the reels makes it awkward to get the jackpot off this. So I'll just show it to you, just so you can see. So if you go skill nudge, because we can easily get, see there? We can easily get the £3 repeater. So if you have the nudges within the correct number, within 12 nudges, you can get it that way. But yeah, I did start playing for a jackpot. £30 bank limit, by the way. And I can't remember exactly how I got it, but I got the £6 jackpot, and it then held 4 times. So that was 30 quid straight token. So even though there's no jackpot repeater per se, it literally just held the jackpot on the reels 4 times. And it wasn't like it was particularly behind percentage or anything either. So there we are. So we'll press take there. Usual problem, it's very hard to get there. So let's just go, so high-low, and then you say high-low, no, well, high-low fruits, you can guess what that's going to be. We'll go high-low reel. And I think we've had that one before, haven't we, in fact. There's a change it. And it's given us another change it, so you've got to be quick with that. It doesn't give you very long. Oh, and then it lost on a 10. That was a little bit harsh. So the machine itself, it's like I say, it's even at the time when I would play absolutely anything and everything to destruction, this would not have been my favourite machine. You know, if I went into a pub, in fact, thinking specifically about the Knowsley that had 3 fruit machines at the time, this would probably be the last one that I'd go to. I wasn't wildly enamoured with them either at the time, but they're actually playable enough with the small jackpot, with the £3 repeater. And if you want to kind of challenge yourself a bit, I would say the thing to do is... Oh, got to be quick there. I would say the thing to do is try and get the actual jackpot. I think, thinking about it, the way I actually got it in the end might have been nudges off here. But you can... In fact, let's have a look at the feature there, because it's like a win series. Same little ditty as the nudges, unfortunately. It usually only gives you a couple of wins. You see there, so it's not the best exchange in the world by any stretch of the imagination. So as I played Hollywood Nights all of those years ago, the way to play the... Jesus Christ, 28 years ago. The way to play this for me is just to go for the bars. And then just, if you're actually trying to maximise what you can get out of it. But if you want to set yourself a challenge, just set yourself getting the jackpot on a session, because it is surprisingly difficult to get a jackpot out of this thing. What have we done there? We put £26, 27 quid in. And we've got £35 out. And I guess if you were really... in fact, what I'll do, for the sake of it, I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to set myself the challenge of getting the jackpot, because it is a tricky jackpot to get. There we are. It wasn't too bad. It finally did it after a straight hold after nudges. It hasn't taken too long, in fairness. That is a straight hold after nudges for the jackpot. You don't see too many of them on this machine. Let's see if it holds. I've definitely seen this hold before, but... Oh, no hold. That's it. Just a single jackpot. But it definitely did for me. It held it 4 times for a straight 30 quid in tokens. We're not going to see it there. Like I say, it's... I don't think this was going to be top of anyone's most wanted list, let's be honest. But it's not a dreadful machine. It's playable, and because it's got... Oh, bollocks. Because it's got that small jackpot, £3 cash repeat, a £6 jackpot, 20p plays, the perfect stake and price combination. So there we are, token win. Not too many token wins on these things. But there we are, that one there. So yeah, it's okay. it's okay, it's worth a play, and the more in a way the more interesting element of this release is the amount of effort, as I say, that hundreds and hundreds of miles that Tony drove to get the machine, and then immediately making those resources available to the Fruit Machine emulation community. So many thanks to Tony for his efforts on that one, and of course to Chloe, who then made the layout a reality. It's a really good classic layout as well. The attention to detail on this one, obviously it helps enormously that they've got the genuine real strips, even little things like there that she's put the right colour in for the bar pot lamp there, because that is a different colour on the real machine. This is one of those classics where, yes, you'd rather have a DX, but it's so good it does kind of capture the real machine very, very well. So thank you to everyone involved on that one. It's worth playing. It's one of those releases that you might let pass you by, but I would respectfully suggest that you do actually give it a go. Now, in terms for Mousetrap, I have got the thread here. This is a Tommy C DX. We've got to give credit as well there to Andy One, who did the classic. There has been a classic for this for a few months now, I think. And then it was Tony Amott there who came up with the sound ROM. And then there was not a very good flyer for this. I think there's a few people expressing surprise at how well Tony's done with a pretty substandard flyer. So thanks to Andy for the classic, which Tommy then used for the DX. And thank you very much to Tommy for the DX, and for Tony there for putting the final piece of the puzzle together and getting the sound ROMs for us as well. He has turned up quite a few missing ROMs over the last few months, has Tony. And this is one, you know me, I don't do mute layouts. I just can't bring myself to really get into mute layouts. The one that I think I've mentioned this before was the Ace machine money mountain. Oh god, if that's possibly my most wanted sound ROM is a Money Mountain by Ace. Maybe it'll turn up one day, but I can't imagine there's very many of them left. However, let's go on to Mousetrap. Now, the interesting thing for Mousetrap was I had real good memories of this one. It's one of them machines that I was thrilled to play again. So when we had the DX with the sound ROMs, I remembered this machine as being fantastic. But then when I started playing it, I was a little bit underwhelmed to start with. And I was a little bit like, I'm not entirely sure this is as good as I remember it being. A little bit of the old rose-tinted glasses going on. But then I stuck playing it. I played it some more and played it some more. And it's really grown on me. And I quite like it. So slightly curious in that I remembered it as being fantastic, then thought it wasn't that fantastic. But having played it quite a bit now, I've come to the conclusion that it's a better machine than I gave it credit for. So, first things first, we've got 27-way feature entry with your little mouse fella here. And we've also got a cash trail with a gamble on it, and every win offers an exchange to some sort of feature. It suffers a little bit from... It has got a sample pack as well, by the way. It's a slight hybrid. It's still got some of the sounds from the early... Because they're both System 5 machines, but this is one of the later ones. I'd say 93, 94, this one, where JPM had moved to samples. But it still has some of the older synthy style internally generated sounds that machines like Thriller used. So I think isn't that the same sample that Around the World in 80 Days uses? For nudges, I think it is. So we've got cherries up there. It does holds after nudges. It does 3 holds. It also does sometimes a wink for holding above or holding below the reels, that kind of thing. Feature entry is fairly frequent, but I was playing this last night and I did quite well out of it. So I don't know if it will be in the best of moods today. But be hard put. I've got a 5 without... Oh, there we are. Yeah, I was just about to say it's quite hard work to go a 5 without getting anything. Now, the feature that we're going to exchange for here, Wild Nudges, this will come into where this machine is actually better than I thought it was initially. Now let's just see. You see there, oh man, can I hit that? It's after the, you see there, there's potentially a jackpot on there. I think I've got it. Oh no! It only gave me 2 nudges anyway, but can you see, if I got 1 up there, that was the jackpot shot that I was going for. This is the thing, and I was just about to say that there's a bit of a disconnect. It suffers a little bit from Big Match and Cup Final itis, in that there's a real disconnect between the feature board and the win panel. Because, as you can see on the feature board, there are no actual features. There are no, there's no nudge squares. Oh, there, I hold after nudges. There are no nudge squares or anything like that. So we don't want to spin a win, that shit. Stop. Oh god, here's the other one. This is another jackpot feature if I can hit it. So let's have a look here. It's harder to see on the laptop than it is on my big screen upstairs. I can't see it on this. Can I get that? I can see this on my big screen upstairs. I can't. I'm on the laptop down here. Oh, you know what? I can't. Oh, it's giving us the feature. There we are. I can't. I've got to be honest with you. I can't really see that. Now then, the thing with the feature here is it's all just a little bit cash based. What happens is you take the move and the cat takes the move, and if the cat gets to there before you and you land on the cat, then it'll catch you. If you get there at the same time, it will actually give you if you land on that square at the same time, it'll give you a £3 repeater. Oh, and it does like to use that mousetrap square there. Mousetrap squares are just game over. So there's one of the problems it's got is you can't get the real setup. There's no nudges. There's nothing on the feature apart from basic cash values. There's also there the piggy bank. Now the piggy bank is a cash pot. It starts at nothing and then works its way up from there. It fills fairly quickly. I would expect us to see it adding some 20p's in. I collected the piggy bank last night when I was playing this, so it's empty. There we are, 3 holds, that'll work. You can do swap holds, by the way. So that was 3. This is a real JPM thing of this era. They kept it in their machines for quite a while. If you get 3 holds like that, so we've got 3 holds for cherries, and it will give me cherries, but because I've got an alternate win on, if I switch to that, it'll now give me the feature in the middle there, and that's a swap hold. It can be quite a useful, well, not anymore, but it was a useful thing to know about on JPMs. You could get yourself some cheeky little wins with swap holds. That advances the cat by 1, but it gives us an extra cheese. Now, if you fill all the cheeses in, it's £6. But one thing it doesn't, Fido will fuck the cat off by 2 spaces. Now and it doesn't tell you, that is actually the £3 repeater. If you collect that £3, it'll give us £3 repeat chance. I'll just show you, because it doesn't make it obvious there that you're not just collecting a straight £3. And it's only on the £3. If you collect it on £1 or £2, it's not a repeater. So let's collect that. And we're trying to get a repeat here, because we'll get a little blast of EBENEEZER GOODE. A really kind of far too loud a sample setting, so it's badly distorted, but we want a repeat here. We'll get a blast of EBENEEZER GOODE. Yay, we got it's not the best £3 repeater in the world, and it doesn't like to do 2. I'm going to be very surprised if we get another one. Nah, spin there. So we have had that little blast of EBENEEZER GOODE there. Oh, that's going to be the feature. I don't think there's a... So we'll get the feature again. So what I would say that you're trying to do on the feature really is just get the £3 repeater and just collect that when it's made available to you. You can get it, but you don't... The key thing to remember is so there we are. That's a £3 repeater again. So we can take, but £4 now is not. Shall we see if we can? It's really hard to fill it up. Let's just see if we can fill it up. Come on, we just need 1 more cheese and we've got £6. We get into dangerous cat territory here. So if we're going to land there at the same time, it does... Bastard thing. So the feature is, as you can see there, it's a little bit one note. In that you can only really go for cash prizes. You can't get anything else off the feature. There's no nudges, there's no other features to go for, no super hold setups or anything like that. And it does make it feel a little bit limited compared to their later machines such as Hagar and Popeye, which you feel, well, it will hold after nudges for anything, by the way. Compared to some late machines such as Hagar and Popeye, it does feel a little bit limited in that regard. But once you get your head around it, this is what it seems to me, is a lot of the action really is, and certainly your best jackpot opportunities can actually come from this side here, from actually the cash wins. And then those two features in particular, we've actually already seen them, which are wild nudges. And we definitely want to, no, we could, so we can see, obviously we could have had the feature there, but now wins, I'll take win series here. It's usually pretty shit. It's also an interesting one in that it will fall back on the older synth style sound from Thriller. See there? That was not actually a sample. Now, it'll give you a sample for the carry-on bit, and you can also tell if the win series is finished or not. Because if it plays the bloopy bleepy sounds again, you know you're getting a win, and if it doesn't, it means the win series has ended. You always get 2 wins, so we'll hear it again. And then if we don't hear that bloopy bleepy sound when I press collect, we know that the win series is over, which I suspect it probably is. There you go, so you know straight away before the reels even spin whether or not you've got another win. You can see the piggy bank there is filling up. It will offer to you, it will offer it you when it's not full. I have had it offer me the piggy bank when it's got like 60p in it, or £1.60 or something like that. We could try, we could get ambitious and go for 3 holds there. It will do it. Holds after nudges, 3 holds, that kind of thing. As far as I can tell, it will do them on anything. We've got the feature there. We'll try and get... Oh, there we go. That's quite good, because that usually gives you a boost. Yeah. Just got to get past that mousetrap, because it does like to use that mousetrap. So we're okay here. There we are. So technically, the only thing that... Well, I say, in fact, the only thing that can kill us now is landing on that mouse there, and there is a go back too. Can you see that? But it just never seems to do it. I would bet long money that this is a jackpot, even though it does have what looks like a pretty straightforward way of killing you here. It just never uses it. There we are, and that's a jackpot. So obviously you can get a jackpot at the end of the trail, but it seems to be, and I don't think I'm going to be able to hit it on this screen. The laptop screen is giant. I'm making excuses here, but this laptop screen is substantially small. I've got a nice big 32-inch panel up on my main PC, and it's just the layout just looks a lot bigger to my old man eyes, and I can see it a lot. I just couldn't even see those. Oh fuck! I couldn't really see those JPM symbols spinning past on this, I've got to say, but it's only a 17-inch screen on this laptop. Into the feature again. You can see here, this is the way with this stake and prize combination. You're constantly getting on the board, you're constantly getting wins, you constantly get... Well, apart from, of course, if it's a machine that's been done. So that we could just take the £3 repeater there, and that's what you should do, but we'll carry on. Let's just see. I mean, this is a very... you can see there's no actual straight death on that, and it's given us the repeat chance there. The problem that we've got here is the cat's already there. So if we land on that square, we've got to get past the fucking mousetrap, which we have. So obviously... you should take the £4 cheese here. I'll just show you what happens if you land on the cat. Ooh, now there's a cheeky way of getting past it. I'd really like to get... I want to try and fill the cheese up, you know. Let's just see if it puts us back to the start. Let's just see if we can fill the fucking cheese up. It's so hard to do. Bollocks. It could have done it for us there. Oh, what's it going to give us now? Well, that's no good. This kid's had plenty of chance. Oh, we've got 5 cheeses. If we can just land on a cheese, we've got a jackpot. Oh, just land on the cheese. So, we have got a repeat chance, and we'll get the same blast of Ebenezer Good if it gives it to us. Oh dear, it's hard to fill that cheese up. One thing that you'll notice there is that you actually... Oh, that just gives us a straight £3 repeat if it hits that. There we are. And let's just put a £1 in. You actually keep the mouse... Oh, you actually keep the mousetrap repeat chance as well. So if you die on the feature, you will get another repeat chance. Or if you get to the end, the only thing that takes the repeat chance away is if you get a £3 repeater. Or if the feature doesn't repeat. Other than that, it kind of stays there. It persists. It's not just a one-time only repeat chance. So yeah, I think I was just saying, wasn't I, that apart from machines that have been fucked, you can see here that the entertainment proposition of a machine on this stake and price combo, and I think that was what kept me playing back in the day, was that if you were playing machines that... Well, I think nearly all machines were fucking doable back then. But if you were playing machines that hadn't been done, you could actually get a decent game out of them, some decent entertainment, and the chance to win a few quid as well. But then, of course, you would hit the machines that had been done, at which point you would get absolutely slaughtered, which used to happen to me all the time. And I've spoken at length about that. There's many videos earlier on the channel across the last 3 years or so where I've spoken about that. Oh, he's put us back to the piggy bank. That was a bit sly. So you see there, we could collect the piggy bank on £2.20. So what we could do here, if it'll go back up to £3. Oh, I missed it. It did actually. Oh, let's see. I'll just show you now what happens if. See there, now it auto-collected. If you get to that square at the same time, it does actually give you the £3 plus repeat chance. No repeat. So this is why 20p £6 machines in a way were so dangerous. Because they could be fun, they could be entertaining. And this is part, I think, why I had so many good memories of this machine. And I don't know if this was doable. If there was anything on this, if there was some shenanigans that, oh, shall we have another go at wild nudges? But you can see the playtime that you get on this. The feature in particular can go on for quite a while. You can get a decent run at it on the feature. And it does like to give those £3 repeaters. Now, we've got a straight £3 on there, haven't we? What's it after? Okay, I think I've got it. Oh, no, that was annoying. I missed it. Oh, now does that count as a hold after nudges? I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't. That's a bit sly, isn't it? That counts as a hold after nudges. You can see the reels get slightly out of alignment as well, which I think that happened on the real machine as well. I don't think that's an emulated thing. I'm sure I remember that happening on the real machine. So why would you exchange a £3 repeater for money belt? Should we try and gamble up? Obviously you collect that. Oh, and it wants to lose down as well. That's a little bit tight, isn't it? So this machine I really liked. The more I played it, the more I've come to like it. And you'll find I haven't had a streak out of it yet. You can get some clusters of wins together, but I haven't had a streak out of it yet. Whether it can, I don't think JPM's in really streaked, did they? It's just all about taking the value out. They didn't save for a streak in the traditional sense. Well, having said that, Thriller there did a jackpot on 4 holds, which was a straight £30 in 5 credits. So I've certainly had nothing like that, and Mousetrap. I'm not aware of Mousetrap being able to do anything like that either. But I think the thing to remember is, whilst the feature's good fun, the feature is entertaining, there's actually a lovely exchange for a Mousetrap there. Never seems to lose down from a quid to lose, by the way. Spin a win we don't want. Sometimes it will let you gamble several times, but it not does there. So whilst the feature itself is entertaining, the Mousetrap feature itself, even if it is a little bit limited, you've got to remember, and we'll have another go at wild nudges here, there's often jackpot value. Stop and step is a jackpot if you can hit it, and wild nudges it hasn't got a setup. In fact, it's a really bad reel setup there. Probably some setups. In fact, that's about the worst one I've ever seen. Can we actually get... Could we just get the feature there, maybe? Not entirely sure what I was going for there, folks, to be honest with you. Well, that was rubbish, wasn't it? But that was a really bad wild nudges, that. I guess you could probably learn the real setups. But maybe I've just been very lucky and there's often been a jackpot on. So definitely give this one a go. It's a machine that, after an initial kind of disappointment with it, once I fired this DX up, I've ended up playing it loads. Over the last 2 or 3 days, I really have been smacking this one around. Oh no. Smacking this one around quite a bit. And you can get some... if you can hit the stop and step, and you can hit wild nudges, which I'm reasonably good at on my bigger screen upstairs, you can get some decent value out of the cash exchanges as well. But I don't think we're going to... Oh, there we are, 3 holds. I don't think they're going to see me do it on this. Shall we have another go on white? Let's just see what we've got on. Oh, God, there's a fucking jackpot straight there, is there? Oh, I've got a horrible feeling it just carries on nudging, though. Or it makes you use the nudges. Hang on a minute. Oh, it timed out. I was just about to hit it. It actually timed. So there you go. I didn't. That's the slowest I've ever been. It actually timed out there, and it just stopped it for me. So just so you're aware, you can actually time out on wild nudges. So obviously, but if you're less incompetent than I'm playing at the moment, there's some value to be had out of that for sure. Good job, Fido. So there's the £3 repeat. I am determined to try and fill up this feckin' cheese. Shall we see if we can do that? Ugh. £4 cheese. That's the other thing, by the way. If you roll a cat, you do actually get a cheese. So it's not as bad as it... So the cat's there now. He will kill us if we land on. We can do it now. If we can rick a 1 or go to there. Go get a 4. So I think you've seen the machine here. I mean, it's not a bad little game. I liked it more than I did. After my first 15-20 minutes on it, I wasn't too enamoured with it. But I just carried on playing with it. And I've carried on playing it. And once I did that, I just carried on playing it. So, and it's all about being a game of 2 halves. Don't ignore the wins. Don't ignore your win exchanges. Those 2 in particular, wild nudges and stop and step, which it will give you. Saw it there. It will give you off a £1 or a £1.20 exchange. So what I'm going to do now is see if I can get the 6 cheeses. We'll get a jackpot off the cheeses. Now, I haven't had it yet, but it did give me the chance. This is the thing. I actually fucked it up. I missed a slip and stop. It gave me slip and stop off a bonus. I had 5 cheeses. And if I could have hit the bloody cheese, I would have got 6 quid, and I missed it. So it's not like a win series on Indiana Jones where, you know, it's allegedly there, but you just can't hit it. It's not like that. So it's... Oh, we could get it here if we can get a 3. Come on, don't, just a 1. We could potentially get it off there. Slip and stop. No! Why does it not want me to have the cheese? Oh, no! Oh, got a repeat chance. Right, we'll just do the... Let's just have another go on the feature. That's going to be... Like, I'm determined to get a jackpot on Thriller. And I'm determined now to get 6 cheeses on Mousetrap for absolutely no reason whatsoever. And I'm just wondering... if it's a £6 repeater. That's the thing. Because the £3 cheese is a repeater, I'm just wondering... Oh, fuck. I'm just wondering if the... Another repeat? No. I'm just wondering if the £6 is a jackpot. I don't know if it is or not, because I've not had it. Don't remember ever having it in the wild, and I could have had it the other night and then fucked up the slip and stop. So, let's see if we can get 6 cheeses. Right, it's put me all the way back to the start, and I've got 3. This is proving to be surprisingly hard work to get all the cheeses here. I'm just wondering if I've got half a chance here. Come on. 4 cheeses. I need to avoid the 5 cheeses. Right, if I can just land on a fucking cheese now. Come on. Just land on a cheese. Don't land on the mousetrap. Just why is it avoiding it? It's offering me it's getting quite happy. Yes! £6 cheese. There we are. Let's see if it... I'm not quite sure that was worth the effort, but let's have a look at £6 cheese. Is a repeater. Let's have a look if the £6 cheese is a... Oh, we've got a repeat chance as well on the mousetrap, but it should... So, no, that's just the mouse. So, after all that, it looks like it is... So, it's only the £3 cheese that gives you a repeater. If you fill the cheese up and get all... Which is so fucking hard to do. I think JPM have missed a trick there in not making that a £6 repeater, because it's a fucking ball ache to get. What it can do, by the way, is hold wins on the reels, though. So even if there isn't necessarily a straight repeat chance, one thing that it can do is just... It should be quite happy, this, because I was just going for the stop and shall we have... Oh, I can't see it on this screen. Let's have another go. I just can't see it. Can I get my eye in there? Oh, I was 2 off. I can just about see it, but it's a little bit hard on this screen. What have we got on there? It should be... Oh, is that 1, 2, 3? 1? No, it isn't. No, it's 1 away. So, well, I've answered my own question there. That is, like I said, that is really difficult to get those cheeses, all 6 cheeses. But I've done it now. So you don't have to sweat about getting all 6 cheeses, because when you finally do it, it isn't a jackpot repeater. But it is at least possible, unlike bloody Indiana Jones, where you just can't get the feckin' win series. Shall we try and finish off with a nice £3? But since that's the only thing that's got a repeat on it, is the £3. Let's see if we can get a last blast of EBENEEZER GOODE. No. Anyway, there we are. The wonky reel has sorted itself out. Right, well, there we are. Oh, Jesus Christ, look at the time on this one. Deary me. So 2 machines there. The thing that's linking them together is that they've both been made possible to some degree by Amot. That's Tony over at Desert Island Fruits. In the case of Thriller, the whole thing, because he got the machine, he got the reels, he got the ROMs, he's given us the artwork. Tommy's working on a DX. It also, of course, allowed Chloe to do the classic as well. So that is a really rare machine. Don't know if it is only the only one left, the one that Tony has got there, but it's certainly, I would say, a very rare machine, because I've never, ever, ever seen one, and it is now emulated. In the case of Mousetrap, of course, the sound ROMs were from Tony. Tommy CDX from the Flyer there. And lest we forget, of course, that none of this would be possible at all without the emulator by Chris. That's the Wizards emulator, MFME, which is continuing to give so many people in the Fruit Machine emulation scene pleasure, even though Chris himself, of course, is no longer with us. So thank you very much for watching this video. I do hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you to everyone as ever who makes these layouts possible, and I'll catch up with you next time. But for now, as ever, it is goodbye.